Hey guys, I wanted to take a moment not to do some exercise, but to give you um, really a little insight into how I recently changed my whole mindset about my health, my fitness, my weight, all of that good stuff. Um, and I really found the secret to my success. And I don't know if it'll be yours because I am definitely not a nutritionist. And if you really are stuck and are at like odds with how you should approach your eating, and I know some people with medical issues definitely have to watch how they're eating. I'm not going to tell you that this is the way, that be all end all way of eating, but I will share with you my insight into just how I changed my whole mindset because um, as you all know, I had my daughter in 2008. And excuse me to all the guys who are listening, but if you're breastfeeding, well, at least I felt like I had like this free ride, this free ticket to eat what I wanted. And well, I started doing that. And unfortunately, I really didn't think about how the whole process was going to end, how I was going to get out of the bad habits that I started. And so while I stayed thin, 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 super thin, I was like skinny fat for a while, for a long time, for the entire year actually, because I really didn't work out, beyond walking every day. And um, pretty much walking was my only exercise for almost a full year. And I teach Pilates. So, even when I started teaching, I still wasn't taking it yet myself. But recently, I don't know if a switch just flipped in my head or what, but I was able to receive a message. I guess whenever I was ready, I was able to receive this message, and it's not a new one. I cut out sugars for the most part. Not in fruit, obviously, but I limit my sugar pretty well. I'm not a saint though, so I have coffee and I have my creamer in the morning, just like I'm sure many of you do. Um, and I stopped eating white flour or things with white flour and switched to whole wheat and sprouted grain breads and products like that. Um, I upped my protein, I upped my water, and as a weird side effect, I think I just, because I stopped eating cereal, boxed cereal, I stopped having milk. I do still have yogurt from time to time, but not that much actually. And I increased my vegetables a lot, and just overall just changed kind of like my approach to eating and not binging. And I am really happy to say I haven't had a piece of cake in more than 7 weeks. I was a cake addict. I was going to Ralph's. There was a few weeks there when I went out almost every single day. I'm saying almost, but it was every day, and got myself a little piece of that red velvet cake, which if you read those ingredients, it's scary because you're like, what is in this? It's just chemical, 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 chemical. And so not until I changed that part of my life, my diet, did I really feel like I made a big shift in my whole approach to eating. And now, um, I still have a hard time taking my vitamins every single day, which that's my next goal, is to start taking vitamins more regularly and the right ones for me. And still, it's a struggle to keep up with the water, but when I do, I notice it. And when I don't, I notice that as well. So I think the biggest thing for me to realize was that this is no diet. This is it, folks. So I had to come up with something for myself, as far as specifically what I was eating that would satisfy me in the long run and not freak me out like, oh my God, I'm on the Atkins diet for life, or I'm on the zone diet. And I'm not going to say anything bad or good about those diets because they do work for some people. And the biggest thing was the sugar and the flour. And I do have wheat, but I mostly have sprouted whole grains and much more protein. I wasn't even having nearly enough protein, and water. And another biggie is getting rid of those hidden sugars and things that you don't really think have sugar in them. like packaged foods of any kind. You know, if you look at the ingredients, all those sauces in those kind of packaged meals and whatnot, they do have sugars in them. So I don't have that. I definitely don't have soda. I pretty much just drink water and tea. And if I want something else to drink, I think I have ice. Yeah, I have iced tea, and sometimes I have like lemonade or whatever, but I don't do it excessively anymore. And I'm really happy to say that. And when I do have it, I notice it like almost immediately. And I'm not maniacal about it. Well, some would argue that fact, but I think that the biggest thing you need to do is start eating cleaner. And when you think of eating clean, really think, okay, what am I putting into this food that I'm preparing? Think about what you're doing to prepare the food, and try not to, if you're going to put sugar in something, make a point to put sugar in it, and you know it's in there and you intend to put it in. And, I sometimes do that with some of the marinade that I make. Let's say chicken, there's like a one that has brown sugar in it. If you're going to have sugar, make the choice, but don't let someone else make it for you. And, just 6 weeks of doing that and really struggling at first, I won't lie. 2 inches off my waist. I'm going to say it again because I said it in another video. 2 inches off my waist, 2.5 off my hips. Oh my God. I'm like, I am so happy about that. And it was very difficult, and it remains like a process. And some days I'm better than others, and now I have my cheat foods within real foods, which is weird. But I think that we as humans need those kind of like little treats here and there. And I'd really be interested in knowing what you do and what works for you, because, everybody has a little secret that they have to unlock with their body. And there are professionals who can help you figure that out. If you're more of like a protein person or a carbohydrate person, and I think it's called metabolic typing. But I just did, I actually did a test like that online, and I found out that I was a protein type, which is interesting because now just in retrospect, I think that adding the protein was huge for me. I still have a long way to go though in really figuring out how to do this like long term, but I take it day by day, and I really hope that all of you take a moment today to realize what you're eating. And even if you just write down what you eat for a few days, you're going to see how much food is kind of already put together for you. And it's just a dangerous place to be. You can make your own food and make great food. You don't have to have prepared anything. And but if you find the secret to your own weight loss issues, or your fitness or your health, I would love to know about it. Definitely check out my website and sign up for the newsletter, because I like to talk about this issue a lot and point you into the direction of people who have lots of great recipes. Just discovered Clean Eating magazine, so you have to check that out as well. I can't even talk about clean eating and this whole subject without mentioning Valerie Waters. She has a very simple, straightforward approach to eating, and it's not brain science. It's not rocket science. Really, it isn't. And the truth is that we all know how to eat. We just have to choose to do it, and we have to choose to do it every single meal if we can, or at least 90% of the time. Look at me, I'm pleading here. Eat well. Okay, well, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon with more exercises.